Travis Simmons. Thank you. Hello, Earthlings. I love Seattle. Whenever I tell people I'm from the Seattle area, they always say the same thing. How do you deal with the rain? Does it really rain that much? And I tell them, I love the rain. I feel safer in the rain because no one is going to wait in the rain to rob you. And if they did, they got a knife, I got an umbrella, I got a good chance. Sometimes when I tell a joke, I like to think how other comedians might have told that joke. Bill Cosby would tell the rain joke like this. Man, in Seattle, you don't have to worry about a thing, you understand? Because you can't hold an umbrella and a gun and reach for the wallet at the same time. Thank you. Hey, Travis Simmons. Thank you. Hello, Earthlings. I love Seattle. Whenever I tell people I'm from the Seattle area, they always say the same thing. How do you deal with the rain? Does it really rain that much? And I tell them, I love the rain. I feel safer in the rain because no one is going to wait in the rain to rob you. And if they did, they got a knife, I got an umbrella, I got a good chance. Sometimes when I tell a joke, I like to think how other comedians might have told that joke. Bill Cosby would tell the rain joke like this. Man, in Seattle, you don't have to worry about a thing, you understand? Because you can't hold an umbrella and a gun and reach for the wallet at the same time. Thank you. This year I performed at the Hemp Fest, and they wanted us, hook me up after the show. And they wanted us to not just do pothead jokes, but to really talk about medical marijuana. And what I figured out is this. Diseases or disease is really your body at dis-ease. Yeah, you smoke some weed, it gets rid of the dis, and it puts you at ease. An example, I was watching a documentary about jazz, and on there they said that Louis Armstrong used to smoke weed every day, all day long. And they asked him why. And he said that it was the 1930s, and that marijuana was his insulator against the pain of racism. I'm thinking, of course, that's what Louis meant when he said, I see trees of green and clouds of white past the pine, but back in time, and I think to myself. Thank you. Thank you. I don't like the word racist because the word racist sounds too much like scientists. It sounds like you thought something through and you didn't. And it's very easy, I found, to not be racist. Before I moved to Seattle, I used to believe that all Asian people look the same. Until I got an Asian friend. Then I saw another Asian person and I said to myself, hey, that ain't Steve. I don't understand how anyone can be pro-life and against health care. That's like saying, girl, you better have that baby, but hurry up so we can stop caring. Couple last little things. A lot of people keep saying, when's Obama going to do something? Why hasn't he done anything yet? A lot of these are liberals. And to me, it's kind of like going on a road trip for 8 days with the same driver going the wrong way. Then you get a new driver. 2 days have passed and people are going, hey, Obama, Why haven't you gotten this back home yet? Well, I'm thinking he's barely had a chance to adjust his seat and the mirrors. He's just now programmed the radio to the station he likes, and the car still smells like Bush. And if you take a big whiff, there's old Dick in the back seat. Cheney, see, I wrote that. I saw in the news that 25% of Republicans believe Obama's the Antichrist. Yeah, I think he's closer to Christ. I can prove it. Obama, Christ, they're very similar. They both have a single mom. And Obama's father's out of the picture, kind of like a ghost. No one's ever seen Obama's father, right? And the first thing he did was try to heal the sick. That sounds like Jesus to me. I'm thinking if you see Obama on the beach with salmon and sourdough, bring a plate. I wrote that. All right, that's about it for me, people. I hope that you recognize that it is insane to not to stand up against hate. It really is. When you let hateful people get loud without checking them, they think they're right. Okay, so the same people need to get a little bit louder. Here you go. If you don't believe people are born gay, I feel sorry for you because now you have to believe people turn gay. And now you're in fear of turning gay. But nobody told you how you turn gay. You can get coffee from the wrong barista. You can watch a football game, they leave the camera on the outside of the huddle too long, now you're gay. Sometimes a gay guy will hit on a straight guy and the straight guy will get mad and want to fight. That's because I believe the straight guy thinks that the gay guy thought he was gay. But he wasn't thinking you're gay. He was just hoping you're gay. Right? If I see a woman across the room, I go talk to her, not because I think she's a hoe, I hope she's a hoe. All right, you guys, good night. Keep hope alive.
But I'm going to read what I got because I want you to know what I really think. I thought that Dave invited me to come to this because I'm a psychiatrist. And this is all about sanity, right? Some political sanity in this country. And there is a saying in psychiatry that the first sign of mental illness is people who do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. And if you've been watching what's going on in Washington, D.C. for the last 2 years, you've seen an awful lot of people do filibusters and a lot of other things over and over again as though they were going to get a different result out of it. So this is clearly a message to America that there are a lot of people who would like to see the political process operate differently. Now, the country is suffering from an insanity, and it's a type of insanity that's been created by misinformation and fear. The belief is that if you can make people afraid, you can make them do anything. Yep. That was, if you saw Fahrenheit 9/11, that was a line that I said for Michael Moore in that film because I believe it. If you can make people afraid, they are vulnerable to being pushed in a lot of directions that under a cooler moment they would not do. And you've seen a lot of that in the last 2 years. Now we've got people warning that the government is preparing concentration camps, and people are comparing our leaders to Hitler. And I actually was only about 10 feet away when I saw people spit on John Lewis from Georgia, who crossed the bridge with Martin Luther King during the healthcare debate in Washington, D.C. A few weeks ago, if you read the newspaper, you see that in Tennessee, a fire department came out looked at a guy's house and said, "You haven't paid your $75. And they let the house burn to the ground. Now, the question that is in your mind and in my mind is, where is the common good? Where is the sense of what's good for all of us? And that's really what we should be thinking about, is how we help our neighbors. A recent acceptance of you're on your own mentality in this country is both, in my view, immoral, and it's unacceptable, and it will not work, and it's what's driving the turmoil in this country at this time. The anxiety that people feel, nobody cares about me. They are caring about themselves, and I'm left off the stage. Now, David introduced me correctly when he said he's not here as a Democrat, and I'm not here as a Democrat. Good ideas do not begin with a party label on it.
Right.
Some of the best ideas came out of the Progressive Party of a guy named Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, back in 1910. Workers' comp, Social Security, all these ideas came from the Progressive Party. So it isn't Democrats versus Republican, it's whether we can come together for the common good in this country. And no one should be alone in a country as big as ours and as rich as ours, and that has showed compassion in the past. We can start here and debate the ideas and the programs and deliver the common good. We can vow to cut poverty in half. There's no reason we can't do what they've done in other countries. And I know that this rally was partly meant to be humorous, and I haven't said a single funny thing since I've been up here. But the message is a very, very important one, and it is very serious, because in a couple of days, we're going to have an election. Now, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands as to whether or not you voted. But if you don't go home from this rally and vote, you simply aren't serious. A lot of people say it doesn't make any difference. You have to participate. Everybody. I don't care if you're voting left or right. Now, there are always going to be disagreements in the United States. There's no way it's going to be a nice, smooth Sunday school picnic. Let's go easy and let's make it fun all the way. It's not going to happen that way. Diversity is what's made this country strong and great. It is diversity of ethnicity. It's diversity of who you love. It's diversity of where you live and where your family came from, and how much it is what has made us strong, because everybody has something to contribute to the problem solutions that got to come in this society. But when people yell so loud that you can't hear what's going on, we have stopped solving problems in this country. Ours is a democracy that was established by reasonable people.
Yeah.
My people were drunken, sick, and impoverished Irish people who arrived here who didn't speak English, and they went to the Catholic Church, was the wrong church, and nobody wanted them to apply for a job. So we all came from that kind of a background, and we have to, as a country, come back together. Now, we can do a better job. Whoever you are, as a person, each one of you has a responsibility to sanely work together on behalf of this country. We needed this rally to remind us to take a step back, take a deep breath, and return our country to a sane and stable footing. But today can't be the end of it. What's amazing is it took a couple of stand-up comics from New York to get us here. And my congratulations, my hat is off to them for what they've done. We will make this country a good place for everybody to live in it. Thank you very much for coming.